breathing. Literally breathe through your nose and focus on the feeling of the air coming in and out of your nose. And it works. I mean, it kind of shuts everything else down. But what happens is your bills start creeping in. How happy is your spouse or your other half? Or are you too lonely and thinking about maybe a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Or are you thinking about your kids? Are you thinking about your job? These thoughts creep back in like uninvited guests. And what he has you do is just walk them right back out of the room. Thanks for stopping by, but I'm busy right now. And you eventually get to a comfortable spot where you're like, okay, I'm just going to focus here. And man, what happens just is freaky. It's a little bit scary, I'm going to admit it. It's almost a feeling as if you've stepped outside your body and you're now looking at you meditating. I don't know how it works. I haven't figured that out yet. They have all these technical terms for it. I don't know about that. But both times I did it, which was last week, 2 times, I felt drunk when I got up. And if you Google that, you'll see some people do report feeling, like they want to stagger and just this high feeling like, holy shit, did I just smoke crack or what? Very strange. Not what I expected to happen. And that's part of why I know it was real, because it wasn't just imagining a placebo effect. I had trouble walking. So good stuff. I was really surprised. Yeah, you'll like that one. It has a rain sound in the background, which kind of helped me with environmental noises, anything, a mower going way off in the distance or a car driving by. So that helped with that. Yeah, I hope you'll check it out. Yeah, but what do most people do, at least in America? Alcohol, drugs, smoke a doob, smoke some crack, shoot up the heroin, snort a line. Like me right now, lighting a cigarette. I got my patches here for when I'm ready to quit. I got them from the VA. I'm going to quit when I'm ready. Nicoderm CQ. But I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. But yeah, what'll happen is I'll be walking or just doing anything, just standing there in the kitchen, and I'll have one leg go numb. It starts usually from the toe and comes up the front of the leg, and then the whole leg goes numb. Excuse me. And then sometimes both of them will go, and that's trouble, because then you're like, okay, standing is going to be an issue now. So I have a cane, but I can't stand using it. I'll never take it unless I'm going to a place like the VA where you have to do a lot of walking. Screw that. Did you guys happen to catch Grandpa Al's video today? That was a touching video. Grandpa Al is having some problems. Make sure to look him up. Grandpa Al Kruska on Spreaker. He's having some issues, and I don't know. They've cut off his internet, and they've cut off his phone, and he's borrowing his neighbor's internet or something, and he had to leave his house. So there's like a divorce going on or something. He didn't say that. I'm just guessing. So I don't feel right guessing about what's going on with him, but I just know it's a lot of trouble right now. So if you're a supporter of Grandpa Al on the United World One Voice Network, make sure to check him out and give him your support. I don't know if he's, accepting donations of any kind or whatever, but he's in trouble right now, and I can tell. There's only so much we can do as individuals, but every little person saying, hey, it's going to be okay, Grandpa Al, we're here for you. We want you to come back and do your show on Saturdays and Sunday afternoons, and, that's going to give him a little bit of a carrot in front of the horse, if you will. Freestyle, the news, racism. Racism isn't going anywhere. We know that. Racism is strong in America. There's a moderate group, my group, that's not racist. We do look at the deeds of people, and that's about it. And we may have a slight preference for our own color. That'll show up in group dynamics. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's entirely natural, but that doesn't mean that you have to develop any kind of negative attitude toward another color. I just don't see the sense in that. It's immature, and we got to get past that in America. So I think the way that the victims' families have been handling this in South Carolina have been pretty impressive. The Confederate flag, you could make arguments that, okay, listen, just the part of slavery, So, yes, that was a part of what the flag stood for, but not everything. All right, I could hear that argument as a logical argument, but there may be a time where if any part of a flag stands for slavery, it's time to have at least the state level agencies take that flag down. If people want to fly it, let people fly it all day long, freedom of expression. But once it's the state involved, we got to be careful about what we're endorsing as a state or federal level. That's getting into a tricky area, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain that to you. Let's pull up, see what else is going on in news. People dying. Do you know people are dying every damn day? People dying left and right. What are we going to do? True Detective season pre-op. Everybody hurts. I don't watch these shows. If you guys do, go ahead. Their manhunt for prison escapees shifts to southwestern New York State. Watch out, you people up in the southwestern New York State area. Just because these guys were killers doesn't mean they'll kill again, but I'm guessing if they took the trouble they did to get out of prison, yeah, they wouldn't be afraid of killing if they have to try to stay free. There is that. Got to look at motivation. Al Jazeera journalist remains in Germany awaiting extradition decision. Did you hear about this? Here's what you can take from it. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression is in no way guaranteed around the world. You're lucky when you get to a country where you can really say anything, or just about anything. It's not the case everywhere you go. So it says here, prominent Al Jazeera journalist will remain in German custody for a second night, prosecutors said Sunday, adding that they have not yet decided whether to extradite him to Egypt or set him free. So Egypt wants him. Pope venerates Shroud of Turin. I don't know why, because the Shroud of Turin has already been proved not to be any older than 600 years or so. Kind of crazy. Let's see. Iran legislation seeks to bar inspections of military sites under nuclear deal. Surprise, surprise. What are we going to do about Iran, guys? We got to do something. That's got to be handled. That's festering. That's like a cancer there, growing underground. You can't see it on the face of Iran. The face of Iran looks happy and smiling. But underground grows the nuclear cancer. And it will metastasize. And when it metastasizes, entire regions will be baked from the face of the earth. Having said that, strategies for married couples to get the most from Social Security is also in the news. It's a business story. I share it all. Google AI creates dreamy images from artificial neural networks. Look at that. AI is coming a long way, folks. AI will be planted into robots, personal robots. Something Bill Gates said that around the year 2050, I think, somewhere around there, he said personal robots will be the number one sought-after machine in the world. Personal robots for personal assistance and housekeeping and stuff like that. So that's getting real. Watch iRobot without the evil element. It should be pretty interesting. Anything else going on in the news here that's interesting? Well, I mean, I'm trusting Google's aggregate here, so I don't always get polar winds on Saturn's moon Titan makes it more Earth-like than previously thought. That moon is already shown to potentially be conducive to the conditions under which life could begin and thrive. So it would not surprise me if they found some single-celled or even more complex life on Titan underneath the surface. I don't know. We got to find life somewhere, because that's going to change a bunch of people's projections. Even if it's just single-celled organisms, doesn't matter. Plant life, got to find it somewhere soon, because we've been looking at a lot of places. And don't believe these reports that say, hey, we've been looking at a lot of galaxies, and we don't see the typical signs of a busy life. Because it is so incredibly arrogant to think that it would necessarily look like our version of a busy life. I mean, think about all the alternative technologies they may use. Very subtle, very low-key stuff. And you might not see anything with what we're looking for. That's crazy. you know, and it reduces hope too. And people do want to find life. You know they do. There's a need to find life in other places. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it comes from our clan days where we wanted to find other clans, and I don't know, it developed, and we want to know if there's other life out there. It's how we help define ourselves. It's really an image thing. If we know there's alien life out there, we're going to want to know everything about them. And why? Mostly because we want to see how we compare, don't we? That's what's in our human nature. How do we compare to that alien life form? How do they compare to us? Are they a threat? Can they help us? Would they bother? Good questions. Going back to le chat, which in French is the cat, le chien is the dog. Or did I get that backwards? No, I think I got it right. Colin Hennessy's in the chat. Color, hate the color medium blue. There are polar winds on Uranus. Doesn't mean I want to live on your ass. I hear you, brother. If Claudia were in this radio show, she would be laughing up a hoot right now, and probably fart laughing, because we're getting to that age. You know, if you get a good guttural, if you get a good guffaw, I mean the one that you have to push out from your sternum area, you'll pass a fart, you'll pass a squeaker, just once in a while. And depending on the type of chair you're sitting on, if we could get everybody sitting on like pews, like hard benches, to fart at the same time, it would sound like applause if you think about it. Think about everybody farting at once, and it would sound like applause. Yeah. If I could get everybody to fart at once, it would be a slam dunk, just like this. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what a walking vagina would look like? I'm losing my mind, folks. I'm sorry. Have you ever thought of what a walking vagina would look like? I mean, first of all, it would just kind of look like two long legs with so the clit, it looked like a little sailor's hat, or like a little French hat on top. Hello, I'm a vagina. I'm a vagina. Welcome to France. Do you smell the poisson?
Yeah, that's not right. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have made fun of France. I shouldn't have made fun of fish, or the French language. I love the French language, you know. But I had to have a little laugh. And that particular night, I did lose control. But comedy sometimes is the only fucking escape. And I'm curious, Colin, if you like this Richard Cheese, Dick Cheese. Look, I used to hate him. I used to hate any white guy that would take a rap song and then carefully sing it so that we could hear how truly retarded it sounded when compared to the correct use of the English language. I used to hate that. Or the thought that they were basically trying to make rap into elevator music. But what he does really is he exposes the idiotic nature of some of the lyrics. I think we need to hear one. Now, you already heard one earlier because we did my neck and back, which was very, very gross, and I might play it again later. But let's listen to Richard Cheese, Gin and Juice. How about that?
It's kinda hard being Snoop D-O-double-G, but I somehow, someway keep coming up with funky ass shit every single day. I got bitches in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So we gonna smoke an ounce to this, cheese up, hose down, while you motherfuckers bounce to